Okay. Did I complete agriculture sector, industry sector, and service sector last class? $11.5. Okay. Here, did I start MSME? MSME? Amma, you need to talk to me. Okay, this part also is done. Amma, foreign trade. What do you understand by foreign trade? Amma, foreign trade ante enti? What foreign trade means? Hello, unnara class lo?
Yes, ma'am.
What is foreign trade? Samira? Ayesha?
Yes, ma'am.
Economic development and exchange earning, ma'am.
Development and exchange. And trade means what?
Trade
Exchange of goods and services, isn't it?
There's big impact of economic development, ma'am.
So here, what is trade? Exchange of goods and services, isn't it? When you talk about foreign trade, it is the exchange of goods and services between two countries in the international market. So you know trade, isn't it? So when foreign is added, okay, then it is the exchange of goods and services between two countries in the international market is called as foreign trade.
Okay.
Okay, for example, food, clothes, spare parts, jewelry, currencies. This and all you can take it as example. Okay. So here, when you talk about the foreign trade, so we have like which is page number 229. 229. Here, features of foreign trade, which is given in page number 229. What are the features? Negative trade, changing imports, diversity in exports, trading through selected ports, trade during maritime, worldwide trade. What is this? Negative trade. Amma, what is this negative trade? I don't understand. Okay, 1 second. Okay. So here, what is negative trade? Like uh, various items like agriculture implements, means agriculture tools, heavy machinery, metals, mineral oils. Okay. So here, such things, what happens, India has to depend on imports. Okay. So here, when you are depending on imports, what happens, here you need to pay their currency, isn't it? So here, like when you talk, when you are importing, when imports are more, exports are less, then foreign currency which is available in the foreign exchequer will get exhausted. That's the reason here negative trade. Negative trade in the sense when imports are more than exports, then it is called as a negative trade. The imports from different countries. Is this clear? The meaning of negative trade?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Changing imports, in the sense here that is import manufactured goods and food grains. So here like after independence we used to depend on food grains and manufactured goods. We used to import manufactured goods and food grains. But here now at the current pace, I'm talking about current pace, here we have more exports. Okay. So here like we are exporting like precious stones, pearls, like uh, commodities. Okay. For example, like oil, rice, this and all, you can take it as example. Okay. So here means most of the imports we are doing. Okay. Sorry, most of the exports we are doing. Okay. Changing imports in the sense, the meaning I'll tell you. The meaning in the sense, here earlier, for example, if 80% was the import, and now the import was reduced from 80% to 20%. That is the changing imports. Okay. Then diversity in exports. Diversity in exports in the sense, here, like India, started exporting more than 7,000 commodities. Okay, 7,000 commodities after the industrial policy 1991. Okay, so here, trading through selected ports. Trading through selected ports here means, here whatever you are importing or whatever exporting, it is done through selected ports. Okay, and here trade during maritime in the sense, more than 95% of the foreign trade in India, it is done through various sea routes. Okay, here, because what happens, generally trade through land routes, sometimes it is not possible. So here, if it is not possible through land, then you're doing the trade through sea routes. Okay, 1 second, ma, 2 minutes. Yes, ma, 2 minutes. Sorry, ma. Yeah. So here means, trading through seaports, trading through maritime in the sense, if land routes are not possible, then you are going to go with the sea routes. Okay. So here, worldwide trade. Worldwide trade in the sense, it is a trade. Here you talk about the trade relationship between all the regions in the world, and here now we started exporting like more than like 190 countries. Okay, and here, in the features part, okay, which is given in page number 229 and 230. Okay, and then role of foreign trade. So what is the role of foreign trade? So generally, when you talk about the role of foreign trade and economic development, so whenever foreign trade is there in the economy, so what happens, economic development will be there in the economy. Okay. Okay, and then foreign exchange earnings. So here what happens, when you're exporting goods and services, when you're exporting goods and services, what happens, the foreign exchange earnings will increase. Okay, here generally what happens, this foreign trade is for what, it is to assist the development in the economy. Okay, and as well as in order to assist the economic prosperity. Okay, so here, when you talk about the development part in the sense, here we are talking about the increasing number of markets which is available to the company in order to display their products. Okay, so here, when you are able to display your products in the market, so what happens, it will enhance the process of production and also sale of the products locally as well as internationally. That means that domestically as well as internationally. Okay, so here, the major roles, when you talk about the international trade, what are the major roles, like it allows the country to expand their markets, and also here you'll have the access of goods and services, which is not available domestically. So what you are going to do, so for example, like crude oil, like India, you can take it as example. So here, domestically crude oil is not available. What you are doing, we go with the international trade, that is importing the crude oil, isn't it? Okay, so here the major role is, whatever the commodities which are not domestically available, you will be depending on international trade. Okay, so here, Apart from that, like you have market expansion. Apart that, you have market expansion. So here with this, with foreign trade, what happens? You will be able to expand the market. Okay, expand the market both domestically as well as the globally. Globally in the sense all the countries will be covering it. Okay, increase in the investment. Increase in the investment in the sense, you what this foreign exchange will do? Foreign exchange, it encourages the businessman in order to increase the investment, in order to produce more goods. If you are producing more goods in the sense, what we are talking about, we are talking about the surplus goods which are produced domestically. When surplus goods are produced in the domestically, then what happens? You can go for the exporting of goods and goods in the global market. Okay, so here when you're able to export the goods in the global market, so what happens if for exporting and all, you can increase. So for producing that, what happens? It increases the investment. And here, importance of foreign trade. So when you talk about the importance of foreign trade, so it is all about the make use of abundant raw material which are available. For example, when you take oil, Qatar, you can take it as example. And here, different commodities they gave in page number 231, that is under the heading make use of abundant raw materials. And then comparative advantage, you'll have comparative advantage. Okay, uh, which is specialized in those goods which are not which have like relatively lower opportunity cost. Okay, and then greater choice for the consumers. Greater choice for the consumers in the sense, for example, here, if for example I'm telling you, like if you are the only company which is producing the product in the market, then what happens? You become monopoly in the market. When you are monopoly in the market, what are the price you are giving to the customers? The price, the customers have to accept that price. So here, if in the monopolistic market, what happens? Competition like exists. So when there is a when you are competing with the competitors, then what happens? Here definitely you give the quality goods to the customers, and as well as the like customers will have an advantage of getting the product at the cheaper rate. And apart from that, the customers also will have the greater choice. Why? Because same product, we are in the monopolistic market, as I told you all. That is, we find substitute products in the market. So first means that the customers will have large wide variety of greater choice for the consumers. Okay, and the specialization and economies of scale. So economies of, what is meant by economies of scale? Economies of scale in the sense, here where there is a scope for reducing this cost of production. So economy is different, economies is different. Okay, economic is different. Okay, so here when we talk about the economies, we are talking about, we are talking about what are the areas where you can reduce the cost of production. So here the areas like marketing, advertisement, transportation, okay, and finance. Okay, so these are the areas where you can go for the reducing the cost of production. So when you are able to go for, apart from that, if at all, if the company is implementing the technology in the organization, so here when technology is implemented, what happens? You go with the efficiency in the sense, for example, you take the example of like three different machines. Okay, handmade machine, semi-automatic, and automatic machine. So handmade machine, so for example, you take paper plates as an example. So when you take paper plates as an example, like one sheet is given. So here you have the handmade machine where you can produce only, for example, 5 units. You are producing it. So here, when you go with the automatic machine, so instead of 5 units, you are able to produce like 8 units. When you go the automatic machine, instead of 8 units or 5 units, you'll be able to produce 15 units. Okay, so when you're producing 15 units, what happens? The variable fixed cost remains same, isn't it? Variable cost varies, so variable cost will come down. So here, when you use the technology in the organization, so here you you can go for the mass production here where there is a scope for reducing cost of production. And then apart from that, you can produce the quality goods also. You can go for the efficiency is possible. Okay, that is economies, specialization and economies of scale. So with this, what happens? There is a greater efficiency in the organization. So with the greater efficiency, there is a scope for reducing the cost of production and increasing the profits for the organization. And global growth and economic development. So here, what happened? Here, when you talk about the international trade, it has the important factor in promoting the economic growth. Okay, so here this growth, so when you are growing in the economy, then what happens? Here the poverty levels will come down. Okay, so here uh, when poverty level is coming down, what does this mean? This means that here you are able to live the standard of living. Okay, so here again you have like difficulties. You have difficulties in the sense disadvantages or problems of foreign trade. So here when you talk about the difficulties of foreign trade, so like diversity of languages, transportation and communication, risk and uncertainty, lack of information about the foreign traders, okay, import and export restrictions, difficulties in payments, various documents to be used, and study of foreign markets. Okay, these are the different problems, and you can go through the content which is very in simple language. Okay, so on the whole, you can expect questions for example, you go to the page number 234. Short answer questions is given, isn't it? What is overseas trade? What is overseas trade or foreign trade, international trade? It is one and the same. Okay. So here, identify the features. So whatever the features I explained, like go through the features and role of the foreign trade in an economy, and briefly discuss the importance of foreign trade and what is service sector trade. Okay. And long questions like what is the meaning of global trade, and global trade and foreign trade is one and the is not one and the same. Only the thing is there is a slight variation. Is global trade in the sense you deal with the multiple companies. Okay, international trade in the sense you deal with the two companies, two not companies, sorry, two countries. Okay, so what is the explain the significance of foreign trade in a country, discuss the role of foreign trade in the economic development, what are the limitations. So here in this particular unit you try to learn what is meant by foreign trade and how foreign trade is helpful for the economy development, and what are the advantages and what are the disadvantages. This is the main question. If you learn this, whatever the question they ask in the examination, that you will be able to write it. Is this clear, this part? Is this clear? Ma, is this clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And then here, India's balance of payment. What is meant by balance of payment? Any idea? Ma, already I told you all, like read the content before you come to the class. Read the content which is like to be discussed. Like it should be like two-way communication, and whatever the relevant question which is happening in the economy, that like you'll come to know. Okay, I told you all to read the content now before you come to the class. What happened, ma? మా మీరు ఏ క్లాస్లో మాట్లాడారా మీరు? Hello, you are there in the
Balance
class?
balance payment is a systematic record, ma'am. Economic transactions like invisible transactions,
Invisible transaction,
like banking, insurance, transport,
banking, banking incidents. You are talking about the services, isn't it? So that is not called as invisible. It is called as intangible services, which we cannot see. Okay. So
Okay.
here, balance of payment. So here, when you talk about the balance of payment, what is balance of payment? Why you are going to prepare it? So here, it is a statement. You know, balance sheet, isn't it? Balance sheet, it is a statement you prepare as on date in order to know the financial position of the organization. Okay. So here, balance of payment, also it is a statement that will give the transaction between the entities, government or individuals of one country to the another for a particular period of time. For a particular period of time, in the sense what time we are taking into consideration? We are taking into consideration 1st April to 31st March. Okay. So here in the balance of payment, so all the transaction details you are going to mention in a statement format, giving the authority like to have a clear vision of flow of funds. Flow of funds in the sense, here we talk about the cash inflows and cash outflows. That is what is coming in and what is going out. Okay. So here all the elements are included in the statement. Okay. That means the elements in the sense the inflows as well as the outflows of the funds. Okay. So here which is there in page number 238 and 239 mark. So meaning of balance of payment. and even in typical balance of payment format also is given in the page number 239. Okay, so here types of balance of payment. So here, when you talk about types of balance of payment, we have different types like current account, capital account, finance account. Okay, so what is current account? So current account in the sense, this is the account which scans all the inflows as well as the outflows of goods and services between the countries. Okay, so here all the payments which are made, that are made for the raw materials and the goods here, means you're going to cover the raw materials as well as the goods under this particular account. Okay, and here for example, like tourism, engineering, stocks in the sense, here we are talking about the share market, business services, transportation, royalties from licenses, copyrights, this and all, you can take it as example. Means not example, so these are the categories which you are going to cover under current account. So here all this they will combine together to make a balance of payment of that particular country. Capital account. Capital account in the sense, here all capital transactions in the sense like purchase and sale of the asset. Okay, like lands, properties, plant and machinery. Okay, so this and all you can take it as means you are going to enter under this capital account. So here, apart from that, this capital account, it also records the flow of taxes, it records the acquisition, it records the sale of fixed assets by the immigrants, and here it take into consideration shortage or excess of the current account, that is surplus or deficit. Okay, which is governed by the finance from the capital account point of view. And finance account in the sense, it is a flow. I'm sorry, it is the flow, the funds which flows to and from other countries. Okay, through the investment, what type of investment you are going to make? That is through real estate, foreign FDI, that is foreign direct investments, and business enterprises. This and all you can take as example under the finance account. Okay. So this and all is recorded in the finance account. So here, this finance account, it calculates the finance proprietor of the domestic assets, domestic proprietor of foreign assets, and it tries to analyze the acquiring or selling more assets like gold, equity, stocks, this and all. You take all such transactions. Okay, so here format which is given in page number 239, credits and debits is given. So trade items and non-trade items is given. Trade items, under the credits you take visible exports, that is exports of goods. Okay, here invisible exports, that is payments paid to the domestic country for the services rendered. Okay, so here you take tangible, that means that here you take tangible as well as intangible. And non-trade items like gold exports. Okay, unrequired receipts, that is gifts, donations received from foreigners, and capital receipts like loans from banks and all, capital repaid, or assets which are sold to the foreign nations. Okay, so this and all comes under non-trade items. And when you take the debit, visible imports. In the credits you are going to take exports, in the debits you are going to consider imports. Okay, that is you take both tangible imports as well as intangible imports, that is visible as well as the invisible. And also you take the gold imports and required payments, capital payments. Okay, so you add like credits. What is meant by credit? So that is receipts. Miss, when you take the P&L account or trading account, credit side, what is meant by credit? All the receipts, isn't it? And debit is all payments. So you balance on both the sides, that is total receipts and total payments. Always remember that BOP will not get balanced. Okay, so here means receipts and payments are not equal to. Okay, so again, like what is current account, I already explained what is capital account. So what all you are going to consider, this and all is given in page number 240. And then here, what is the importance of balance of payment? Okay, why you are going to study? Why? Because here when you talk about the balance of payment, it is the important document, okay, in the finance department. Why? Because this gives the status of the country and its economy, and the significance of balance of payment. It takes, what is the significance? Like, it examines the transaction of all the exports and the imports of goods and services by a particular period of time. Particular period of time in the sense we are taking 1st April to 31st March. And also this balance of payment, it helps the government in order to analyze the potential of a particular industry, export growth, and formulate the policy in order to support the growth of that particular economy. And it gives the government a broad perspective on different ranges of exports as well as the import tariff. And based on this, what the government will take measures in order to increase or decrease the tax proportion on this. Okay, so generally what the government will do, government try to discourage the imports and encourage the exports. Okay, so if it is self-sufficient, then it encourages the export. If it is not self-sufficient, then it it goes for the importing goods and services. Okay, and here not only that, your if the economy, it is urging for the support in the mode of the import. Okay, what the government will do, government will plan according to the balance of payment and divert the cash flow as well as the technology. Okay, so here not only that, this balance of payment, it indicates the government in order to detect the state of the economy. State of the economy in the sense, here we are talking about the condition, financial condition in the sense we are talking about the financial aspect of the economy, and then plan expansion, monetary and fiscal policy. Monetary and fiscal policy in the sense, monetary policy, it is a policy of the RBI, that is the regulatory authority for all the banks. And fiscal policy in the sense we talk about the policy of the government. So here we talk about the planned expansion, monetary policy, fiscal policy. Okay, this and all, they are prepared. Okay, the policy is formulated based on the basis of the balance of payment as well as the status of the country. Okay, so here this is the significance of balance of payment. And here generally, as I said, that there is, see, in the balance of payments, credits and debits you have, isn't it? So always the debit and credit will not be equal. There will be always there is no surplus, there is always deficit. Then what is meant by trade deficit? Okay, so here when you talk about the deficit in the sense we are talking about the uh, uh, expenses are more than income. Okay, so here when you talk about the trade deficit, it is a situation in which countries imports imports are more than the exports. So when you take the balance of payments, okay, so here imports are more than the exports. So when imports are more, then it is called as a trade deficit. Okay, so here and here, and what is there? What are the main causes of trade deficit? Okay, what the main causes is when a country not able to produce everything, whatever the requirement is domestically, whatever the requirement is there, when the government is not, when the particular country not able to produce. Okay, so here what the government has to do, it has to import the products from other countries. And here when you're importing, not only you're paying the price for the import, you're also paying the import taxes, isn't it? The tariff you are going to pay it. Okay, so here when you're paying only for the importing goods, not for the taxes, then what happens? There will not be any trade deficit. When you're paying the import price as well as the import taxes, this causes this is the major cost for the trade deficit. Okay, so here in another words, this trade deficit, you also call it as current action deficit. Okay, so here it occurs when companies are involved in the manufacture of the products in a foreign country. Okay, so here sometimes it is also called as I said, that it is also called as current deficit. Is this clear, this part up to here? So this current account deficit, which is given in page number 242, that you go through. Okay, and then what is given, favorable and unfavorable balance of payment. Okay, so here favorable and unfavorable balance of payment in the sense here we are talking about difference between exports and imports. What we are talking about? We are talking about imports and exports. Okay, so here, what is favorable balance trade? So favorable balance trade in the sense always remember that if it is a favorable, then there is a surplus in that. If it is unfavorable, then there is deficit. Okay, so here surplus in the sense when there is a surplus when exports are more than imports. When it is unfavorable when imports are more than the exports. Okay, this part you keep it in your mind. And here some measures are given for the correction and here measures to causes of disequilibrium in the balance of payment and measures to correct the disequilibrium. This is given. So here under disequilibrium, like you have export promotion, import substitution, reducing inflation, devaluation of rupee, exchange control, tariffs, and quotas. Okay. So here export promotion in the sense here in the economy, what the government will do, government has to take the initiation to go for the exporting goods and services so that whatever the foreign exchange you earn from like exporting that increases the balance in the exchequer in the RBI. Okay, so here you promote the exports and import substitution. Whatever the import you are doing it, you're making in the market. Okay, you find the substituted products for the product. So when you are able to find the substituted products in the market, then imports reduces, isn't it? So imports the proportion of the import, whatever you're importing it comes down. Okay, reducing the inflation. What is meant by inflation here? Continuous rise in price of the product is called as inflation. So here with this, what happens? You will be able to reduce the inflation. And devaluation of rupee, you all know very well that what is meant by devaluation of rupee. Okay, and then exchange control, tariffs in the sense this is the taxes which is imposed on, so which is imposed on imports. Whatever the taxes you are paying, that taxes instead of calling it as taxes, you call it as tariffs. Okay, and then quotas. Okay, so here, like so for example, if one product is not available in the economy, so here you cannot import n number of goods, okay, from the other countries. So here government will give some restriction that you can import only like 5 goods, okay, five units only you can produce, you can purchase it. Beyond that, if you're purchasing it, it is you cannot go for the purchase. So here, then what happens if such restrictions are given by the economy? Then the import proportions will decreases automatically. It decreases. Why? Because here, when you are giving quota, what is meant by quota here? Restricting the imports. What you are doing? What exactly you are doing? You are doing restricting the imports, and then foreign exchange. What is meant by foreign exchange? What is meant by foreign exchange?
Foreign exchange is an important element of international trades, ma'am.
So exchange, what type of exchange takes place in the market when you talk about the foreign exchange?
From one currency to another
Very good, very good. So
currency,
it,
ma'am.
it is exchange in the currency of one country for another, okay, at the prevailing exchange rates in the market. So every day we see the exchange rates, isn't it? So today's exchange rate will not be there tomorrow. So every this thing you exchange rate gets changed. Okay. So here what is meant by exchange rate? Like it is exchanging exchange of currency, one country's currency with the another country's currency at the prevailing exchange rate is called as foreign exchange. Okay, so here what examples you can give? Like you can give like the like US dollar, okay, euros, pounds in the European market. Okay, this you can give it as example. So you are exchange, for example, if the product is available in US, so you need to uh, give the money in the form of dollars. Okay, they don't accept in terms of rupees, isn't it? Okay, so here like when you talk about the exchange rates, so here we have like three different types of exchange rate. There is float rate, fixed rate, and peg. pegged float. Okay, these are the three different currencies. Okay, and here which is given in page number 245, that is foreign exchange market. And then convertibility in the sense partially convertibility of a rupee is given. And here, so check your progress. Fully convertible. So here the questions which is given page number 248. What is balance of payment? As I explained, like you give the balance of payment, it is the like in the balance of payment, what exactly you are going to do? Like it is a statement which have the transaction of the entities of both debits as well as the credits. Okay. So what is current account and what is capital account? Already I explained. Go through the content. And what is current account deficit, what is convertibility of rupee, explain the components of balance of payment. See here what are the components is given. So components which is given in page number 239, the components is this, you can take it, this table you can mug up. Okay, and then what do you mean by favorable and unfavorable balance of trade? So what is, always you remember that when it comes to the balance of payment, the favorable in the sense exports are more, unfavorable in the sense the imports are more. Okay, there's a difference between favorable and unfavorable balance of payment. And explain the measures to correct the disequilibrium in the balance of payment. Okay, so already this equilibrium and disequilibrium part is given in page number, one second, in page number 243. Okay, you can study that. Amma, do you have any questions? So with this, I have completed the portion, that is
Ma'am,
Indian
any
economy.
important questions can you tell for the exams?
Amma, any important questions అంటే నేను యూనిట్ అయిపోగానే నేను క్వశ్చన్స్ చెప్తున్నాను కదా నేను మీకు.
మ్యామ్ నేను ఈరోజే జాయిన్ అయ్యాను, నాకు తెలియదు మ్యామ్. సో
అమ్మ ఒకసారి మీ క్లాస్ లో అమ్మ లైక్ ఎవరు వస్తున్నారు?
మ్యామ్ ఈజ్
ఆయేషా
గ్రూప్ ఫర్ వాట్సాప్ మ్యామ్,
అమ్మ. నేను
వాట్సాప్ గ్రూప్ ఉంది.
ఉందిమ్మా. ఆయేషా
సో మ్యామ్
ఆయేషా
కెన్ యూ టెల్ టు దెమ్ టు ప్లీజ్ జాయిన్ మీ సో
ఎస్
ఐ
ఎస్
కెన్.
అమ్మ. Here Ayesha, what you do know, like after every unit I am dictating some questions, isn't it? Okay, those questions you put, already it is there in your book. Okay, so that you post it in the group now, all the questions both for principles of marketing as well as Indian economy. ఓకే అమ్మా, ఇది ఆయేషా అని అమ్మాయి పోస్ట్ చేస్తుంది మా, గ్రూప్ లో పోస్ట్ చేస్తుంది, నువ్వు చెక్ చేసుకోవచ్చు.
సో మ్యామ్ గ్రూప్ లో ఎలా జాయిన్ అవ్వాలి మ్యామ్? హూ ఇస్ ద అడ్మిన్ అండ్ హూ ఇస్?
మాది వీళ్ళకే తెలియాలమ్మా. లేకపోతే నీ నంబర్ ఇక్కడ చేయి, ఇక్కడ టైప్ చేయి, వాళ్ళు యాడ్ చేయమని చెప్పు, దే యాడ్ ఇట్. ఓకే.
ఓకే ఓకే మ్యామ్.
Okay, you share your number here. See, somebody is asking you, and Ayesha is asking you your number.
Yes ma'am, I have given.
Okay, yeah, you gave to the, so your number will be added.
Okay ma'am.
Okay. Okay.
Thank you ma'am.
ఓకే, మీకు ఆ క్వశ్చన్స్ కూడా, ఇంపార్టెంట్ క్వశ్చన్స్ కూడా మీకు వాళ్ళు చెప్పేస్తారు. ఓకే. So I completed the syllabus of like Indian economy. Just whatever I discussed, like balance of payment, foreign trade, okay, FDI, okay, whatever like just now I've discussed in the class. If at all, if you have any questions, that is CRM, you can ask me. Just go through the pages, the subheadings. If you find it any difficult, you ask me questions. Question paper pattern, ma'am. Okay, నేను చెప్తానమ్మా. అమ్మ Aisha, Pragna is saying that add me, don't forget to add me. Balke she's okay, okay, fine. Amma, she will do it, ma. You not worry about that.
Okay ma'am.
Okay. Just I'll give you all like 2-3 minutes time. Go through the points, subheadings, no doubts. What I'll do, I'll explain the question paper. And need not worry. Once you take the question paper, don't be panic. Okay, read the question paper once, twice, thrice, and then you start answering the questions. Is this clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, fine. Okay, just go through the content. Amma, you have any questions?
No, ma'am.
ఓకే ఫైన్. అమ్మ మిగతా వాళ్ళకి ఏమైనా డౌట్స్ ఉన్నాయా? అందరికీ అర్థమవుతుందా? అమ్మ అందరికీ నేను చెప్పింది అర్థమవుతుందా? ఓకే. Ayesha, what happened? What you did not understand, Ayesha? Hello? Understand, ma'am. Then why you are typing no, ma'am, no, ma'am? Able to follow, no? Ayesha, able to follow, no? Yes, okay, fine. Okay, see. I discussed the question paper pattern, which is there at the end of the book, page number 251. So here you have 3 sections, section A, section B, and section C. Okay. So a total paper, it consists of like 100 marks paper. Okay. And then minimum marks to pass the exam is 40. Okay. Minimum marks is 40. So here section A, it carries 20 marks, section B 60 marks, and section C 20 marks. Okay. Section A. Section A, you have only short answer questions. So here, like 10 questions will be given. Each, like you need to answer any 5 questions. Okay. Each question carries 4 marks. 5 fours are 20. Okay. Each question carries 4 marks. So how many you need to write? 5 questions you need to write. 5 fours are 20. And section B, long answer questions. Long answer questions. How many questions will be given? 5 questions will be given with options. Okay. A, B. For example, 11th question, you have 2 questions, A or B. You can write A or B. You need to write all the 5 questions, but the thing is internal choice will be there. That is, for 11th question, you can write either A or B. Okay. One also A or B. So internal option will be there.
ఒకటి థియరీ ఒకటి ప్రాబ్లం ఇస్తారు కదా మ్యామ్ ఆప్షన్స్ లో.
ఇస్తారు. న్యూమరికల్ అయితే ఇస్తారు. ఇది మనకి న్యూమరికల్ కాదు కదమ్మా, ఇండియన్ ఎకానమీ న్యూమరికల్ కాదు కదా.
థియరీ పార్ట్ రాసేస్తాం మ్యామ్, అదే కొంచెం కాస్ట్ అకౌంటింగ్ అది ప్రాబ్లమ్స్ ఉన్నాయి కదా మ్యామ్, అందుకని.
ప్రాబ్లమ్స్ కూడా ఇస్తారు మీకు, అందుకనే నేను ప్రాబ్లమ్స్ కూడా చెప్పాను, నేను ఫార్ములాస్ కూడా చెప్పాను నేను. ఒక్కసారి చూసుకోండి మా. ఓకే ఓకే. సో 5 క్వశ్చన్స్ ఇస్తారు, 5 క్వశ్చన్స్ రాయాలి. కానీ 5 క్వశ్చన్స్ లో ఒక్కొక్క క్వశ్చన్ లో ఇంటర్నల్ చాయిస్ ఉంటుంది. ఏ బి ఉంటుంది, ఏ అన్న రాయొచ్చు, బి అన్న రాయొచ్చు. బట్ క్లియర్లీ మెన్షన్ యు ఆర్ రైటింగ్, ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ 15th క్వశ్చన్ యు ఆర్ రైటింగ్ ఏనా బీనా అనేది క్లియర్లీ యూ నీడ్ టు మెన్షన్. ఓకే. ఉట్టి 15 క్వశ్చన్ అని పెడితే మళ్ళీ కరెక్ట్ చేసే వాళ్ళు ఏ క్వశ్చన్ రాశారు, ఏ రాశారా, బి రాశారా అని చెక్ చేసుకోవాల్సి వస్తుంది. అలా చేయకుండా 15th ఏ అయినా బి అయినా యూ నీడ్ టు మెన్షన్ ఇట్. ఓకే. So how many marks completed? 80 marks, isn't it? How many marks left over? 20 marks. 20 marks, you have objective type questions. So objective type questions, MCQs, MCQs, then
నో ఆబ్జెక్టివ్ అంట మ్యామ్.
no objective అంటనా?
అంటున్నారు గ్రూప్ లో, అందుకే మీకు అడుగుతున్నాను అది ఎంతవరకు కరెక్టా అని. అది 20 మార్క్స్ క్వశ్చన్ ఇస్తారంట, 2 ఇస్తారంట, ఒకటి రాయాలంట మ్యామ్.
అవునా? అది ఒక్కసారి ఇప్పుడు నేను కనుక్కుంటామా, ఒక్కసారి నేను సార్ కనుక్కుంటా ఇప్పుడు. నా మొబైల్ ఉండి పెట్ట ఒక్కరి స్టవ్ ఆఫ్ చేసి. అమ్మ నేను సార్తో మాట్లాడుతున్నాను, ఒక్క నిమిషం కనుక్కొని చెప్తాను. అమ్మా సార్ ఫోన్ ఎత్తట్లేదు, నేను అది కనుక్కొని నేను ఒక్కసారి చెప్తా అమ్మా సెక్షన్ సిలో. ఓకే, నేను గ్రూప్ లో పోస్ట్ చేస్తాను నేను. ఓకే
మ్యామ్, ఒకవేళ ఆన్సర్ రాయాలంటే 20 మార్క్స్ కి అంటే 3 పేపర్స్ రాస్తే సరిపోతుందా మ్యామ్?
అంటే ఒకటే క్వశ్చన్ 20 మార్క్స్ ఉండదుమా, రెండో మూడో ఇస్తుండొచ్చు.
లేదు మ్యామ్, 2 క్వశ్చన్స్ ఒకటి రాయాలంటే మ్యామ్ 20 మార్క్స్ కి, అందుకే అడుగుతున్నాను.
2 questions 20 మార్క్స్, 3
2
pages రాస్తే
క్వశ్చన్స్ అందులో 1 రాయాలి మ్యామ్. 2 ఇస్తారు, అందులో 1 రాయాలి. 20 మార్క్స్
అయితే 3 pages సరిపోతుంది మా.
ఓకే మ్యామ్.
ఓకే 3
ఇది
pages
మ్యామ్ ఏమంటే 12 మార్క్స్ కి 2 సరిపోతుందా మ్యామ్? ఇటు
ఇంకోటి మా, మీరు పేజెస్ అని చూడకండి, ఒక్కొక్కసారి 4 pages కూడా రావచ్చు కదా. మీరు పేజెస్ కి రెస్ట్రిక్ట్ కాకండి, మీరు కంటెంట్ రిలవెంట్ గా రాయండి.
అంటే మ్యామ్ 4 pages అంటే వాళ్ళు తక్కువ ఇస్తారు కదా మ్యామ్, బుక్లెట్ ఇస్తారు, అందులోనే రాయాలి, అందుకని అడుగుతాను.
మా 32 pages ఉంటుంది కదా మా బుక్లెట్.
32 ఏమి ఉండదు మ్యామ్.
ఉండదా? అది నాకు తెలియదు అది ఎన్ని పేజెస్ ఉంటాయో. జనరల్ గా అయితే ఓయూలో 32 pages ఉంటాయి. 32. సో మీరు అది టైం మేనేజ్మెంట్ చేసుకోండి మా, అది పేజ్ మేనేజ్మెంట్ చేసుకోండి, ఇక టైం కాదు, పేజ్ మేనేజ్మెంట్ చేసుకోండి. ఇప్పుడు ఎన్ని క్వశ్చన్స్, ఒక 5 minutes
అంటే 2.5 రాస్తాను మ్యామ్ ప్రతిసారి, అంటే 1 పేపర్ ప్లస్ ఇటు ఒకటి హాఫ్ 12 మార్క్స్ కి.
అమ్మా 3 hours కదా మీకు, ఏది ఎన్ని పేజెస్ ఉంటాయి మీకు? 22 pages ఉంటాయా?
అంటే
20 ఉంటాయా? ఓకే, ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ 20 ఉన్నాయనుకో, 20 ఇప్పుడు 4 marks ఆన్సర్ కి ఇప్పుడు మీరు ఒక్కొక్క పేజీ తీసుకున్నారనుకో 5 pages అయిపోతుంది. మళ్ళీ దీనికి
అంటే 1 side మ్యామ్, 1 side చెప్తున్నారు కదా,
1 side 5 pages అయిపోతుంది. మళ్ళీ తర్వాత ఇప్పుడు ఇంకెన్ని పేజెస్ ఉన్నాయి? 15 pages ఉన్నాయి కదా.
తెలుగు నాట్ అండర్స్టాండ్ మ్యామ్.
ఇక్కడ అడిగారు కదా మ్యామ్, ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ ద డెఫినేషన్ ఆఫ్ ఇన్వెస్ట్మెంట్స్ అంటే అది హాఫ్ పేజ్ కూడా రావచ్చు కదా మ్యామ్.
You can write half page also. Okay, you can write half page also. Okay, so here you do the page management. Got it? You do the page management. How many pages are there? Based on that, like try to adjust. For example, like 20 marks question, section B 20 marks question is given. Okay, so here you take, if you're taking 4 pages, how many left over? 16 left over, isn't it? 16 left over, and then remaining this 4 marks 5 marks question, if you are taking 3 pages, how many? 13 pages left over. And for section B you manage that in that manner. Okay, సో అట్లా పేజ్ మేనేజ్మెంట్ చేసుకోండి మీరు. ఒకసారి ఒక 5 minutes, ఒక 5 minutes లో 2 minutes కి రీడింగ్ క్వశ్చన్ పేపర్ 2 times చేసుకోండి. తర్వాత ఆఫ్టర్ దట్ లైక్ పేజ్ మేనేజ్మెంట్ చేసుకోండి. బేస్డ్ ఆన్ దట్ మీకు అది తెలిసిపోతుంది, అది మీరు ఎట్లా రాయాలో తెలిసిపోతుంది. 3 hours లో 5 minutes మీరు చేయొచ్చు కదా. ఓకే, సో here so this is very important and all the best for your
అంటే 4
exams,
సెమిస్టర్స్
all the
కంప్లీట్
exams. అమ్మా చెప్పమ్మా.
అంటే 4 సెమిస్టర్స్ కంప్లీట్ అయిపోయాయి కదా మ్యామ్, అది 3 hours ది అది సెట్ అయిపోతుంది మ్యామ్. కానీ ఇక్కడ ప్యాటర్న్ చేంజ్ అయింది అన్నారు, అది కన్ఫ్యూజ్ అవుతుంది మ్యామ్, అందుకే అడిగాను మీకు.
ఓకే, ఇప్పుడు మీరు 5th సెమ్కి వచ్చారు కదా ఇప్పుడు.
అదే మ్యామ్,
అదే
అది ఒకసారి
ఒకసారి
కనుక్కోండి మ్యామ్. 20
నేను
marks అది
నేను కనుక్కుంటాను, మరి నేను కనుక్కొని చెప్తాను.
ఇస్తారా?
ఓకే, నేను కనుక్కొని చెప్తాను.
ఓకే మ్యామ్.
ఇది ఈ రోజే ఈవినింగ్ వరకు నేను కనుక్కొని నేను గ్రూప్లో పెడతాను. ఓకేమ్మా. ఇంకోటి,
ఓకే మ్యామ్.
ఆల్ ద బెస్ట్ ఫర్ యువర్ ఎగ్జామ్స్. దేనికి ప్యానిక్ అవ్వద్దు. కాస్టింగ్ కి ఏమైనా డౌట్స్ ఉంటే బిఫోర్ ది ఎగ్జామ్ ఆల్సో యూ కెన్ కాంటాక్ట్ మీ. ఓకే
ఓకే మ్యామ్.
ఓకే
ఓకే మ్యామ్.
అది
చెప్పండి.
ప్రాబ్లమ్స్ ఇంపార్టెంట్ ఇచ్చారు కదా మ్యామ్ మీరు?
అవునమ్మా, ఇచ్చారు. ఓకే, ఎక్కడెక్కడ ప్రాబ్లమ్స్ చేయాలో ఇంపార్టెంట్ ఇచ్చాను, అది ఒక్కసారి చూసుకోండి.
ఓకే
ఓకేమ్మా. ఏం క్వశ్చన్స్ లేవా? నో క్వశ్చన్స్? అమ్మ ఒక్క నిమిషం ఉండండి. అమ్మా మీకు మల్టిపుల్ సెక్షన్ సి లో మల్టిపుల్ చాయిస్ ఏం లేవమ్మా. 20 marks కి ఇంటర్నల్ చాయిస్ తోని ఏ ఆర్ బి తోని ఒక క్వశ్చన్ 20 marks ఉంటుంది. కన్ఫర్మ్ ఇది. హలో,
కష్టం మ్యామ్.
సరేనా?
ఎస్ మ్యామ్.
So section C, you don't have fill in the blanks, multiple choice, match the following. Instead, for 20 marks, one question will be given, that is internal choice A or B, which carries 20 marks. Is this clear?
ఎస్ మ్యామ్. మ్యామ్ ఇది ఒక్క సబ్జెక్ట్ లోనేనా ఇన్ ఎవ్రీ సబ్జెక్ట్ మ్యామ్?
మీ ఆల్ సబ్జెక్ట్స్
సెమ్ 5 అంటే అన్నిట్లో ఉంటుంది. ఓకే
ఓకే మ్యామ్.
ఓకే, అన్నిట్లో ఉంటుంది.
సబ్జెక్ట్స్ ఆల్ సెమ్స్ మ్యామ్, అన్ని అందరికి చేంజ్ అయింది.
అందరికి చేంజ్ అయింది. అదే ఇప్పుడు సార్ తో మాట్లాడాను నేను. సార్ చెప్పారు ప్యాటర్న్
Ma'am,
సెక్షన్.
Telugu not understand, ma'am.
Okay. Aisha, already I spoke to
Yes,
sir.
ma'am.
He said that 20 marks question, internal choice, 20 marks essay question will be there. No multiple choice, no fill in the blanks, no match the following.
Okay, ma'am.
Got it? So these
Yes,
are the
ma'am.
changes. And this is for all the papers, not only for
Okay, ma'am.
particular paper. This is for all the papers for Sem 5. Is this clear?
Okay, ma'am.
Any doubts?
Yes. No, ma'am.
Okay. If no doubts, shall I wind up the session?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Okay, okay. Bye, ma'am. All
And
the
I
best for you.
send the link in the text
Amma?
on WhatsApp. मैंने लिंक सेंड किया मैम,
Okay.
जिसको ज्वाइन करना व्हाट्सएप पे ज्वाइन कर सकते हैं.
అమ్మ లింక్ పంపించారంట, ఎవరైనా జాయిన్ అవ్వాలంటే జాయిన్ అవ్వండి. ఓకే
ఎస్ మ్యామ్. ఓకే ఓకే.
ఓకే సరే, చలో. ఆల్ ద
Okay.
బెస్ట్ ఫర్ యువర్
Thank you,
ఎగ్జామ్స్.
ma'am.
ఆల్ ద
Thanks,
బెస్ట్ ఫర్
ma'am.
యువర్ ఎగ్జామ్స్. ఓకే
థ్యాంక్ యూ
Thank
మ్యామ్.
you.
ఓకే, డోంట్ బి
Thank you.
పానిక్, రైట్ వెల్. ఓకే
Thanks, ma'am.
ఓకే ఓకే, బాయ్ అమ్మా.
Bye, ma'am.
బాయ్ అమ్మా.